On this Earth Day, Wednesday, April 22nd, I wanted to make a connection between this day and our current circumstances. You may be well aware of the story of Honi, the circle maker. I think his story helps make that connection beautifully. Honi, the circle maker, around the age of 70-ish, is said to have planted a tree. And as he was planting the tree, as a little sapling, a young person came by and asked Honi why he was planting such a tree, seeing that he wouldn't really gain the fruit of its tree or other ways in which the tree might give him anything in his lifetime. And Honi said, "I'm not planting the tree for me alone, I am planting the tree for future generations." That story goes on actually in a second half that is typically less well known. Honi wakes up after a very long dream, almost in a Gulliver Travels-esque story. And as he wakes up, the tree has sprouted beautifully. And he's so grateful to know that the tree he planted so many years ago has done exactly what he would hope it would do, which is benefit the future. But then he looks around and decides he wants to meet up with some of the people that he knew in his lifetime, and he walks around the town looking for personal connection, and no one recognizes him. And not only does no one recognize him, but he doesn't recognize his peers. He cannot find any personal connections. And it's at that moment that he is rumored to have said, "Give me a personal connection or give me death." And according to the story, that's the moment that he passes away. I see this story told by the rabbis of our tradition as a way in which to reinforce one very important value, which is how we treat each other. Making personal connection, which is so important, is often an extension of how we are to treat the earth. Making connections with the earth, caring for it like we might a fellow human being. In our case today, we might have a little more space in our schedule to do something for the earth, but I would suggest that we do something simple, like make sure that we are recycling what needs to be recycled or turning off the water well before we used to do it. One small measure. And then I'd suggest that we take the lesson from the story and that we also extend one small measure to each other. One phone call to check in, one wave to a neighbor, one day of being kinder to those who are in our lives, even when this is difficult to do. Happy Earth Day, and continue to please take good care of yourselves and others.